Hello Zainey friends, and welcome to another makeup and a movie where I do the makeup
and I'll talk about a movie.
And this week we are talking about a movie that we actually saw a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that movie is
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
And the reason why we're doing this is because I got this in the mail, which is the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies palette from BH Cosmetics, which I'll be using to do this look, as well as this lipstick from BH Cosmetics as well. If you are liking, these kind of videos, you like, see the movie review, but kind of like you like the makeup stuff too, make sure you subscribe down below because we have this every week, usually on Mondays they come out, as well as, what you're watching, which are, what are we watching? So make sure you are subscribed, and if you're interested in seeing how we did this look and what we thought about the movie, just keep watching. Today, if you're interested in seeing what I've already used on my face, make sure you look down below. I always put down what it is I've used. I can tell my contour is a little crazy today, but that is okay. Because for this look, being a little bit dirty is not a bad thing. Alright, so basically I'm using a couple products from BH Cosmetics for my look today. And of course, since we're talking about Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, I also am using the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies palette from BH Cosmetics, which I was at first kind of wavering back and forth whether I was even going to buy this thing because it was really cheap. It was only like $11 I think when it first came out, and then it went up to $13, but still for a palette that's pretty good in my opinion. But then one of my friends on YouTube and in my Geeks and Beauties group also got this one, and along with this other palette, this Carly Bible palette, and I ended up getting both of them for like cheap. It was only like $20 to get both of them. So yeah, I decided why not do a makeup in a movie with the palette. So this is what it looks like, and you can look for swatches on Instagram, but it comes with like this weird plastic overlay to kind of keep the mirror, and I use that term loosely because honestly it's not that great of a mirror, but what do you expect? It's a cheap palette. And here's what it looks like. As you can see, I've already swatched it in preparation to put Instagram pictures on. So if you're following me on Instagram, you will see swatches. Also on Snapchat, I do put like hauls and pictures up there as well. So make sure you're following me there, Zainey, Laney, on both of them. But yeah, so this is the palette we're using today, and I've already swatched it, and I'm super excited. Like, these are amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this color right here. It's kind of this like beigey color, and I'm going to use that all over my lid and on like all the way up to here basically. And then in the crease I'm going to use this color right here, which is kind of a matte brown shade, as well as this color, which is kind of a deeper burgundy with just a tad bit of shimmer on top of the crease as well. So I'm going to kind of use both colors in the crease to blend it all the way through as we're going in here.
Alright, so Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Yeah, this movie is based on a book that came out, oh boy, when did that come out? 2009. I feel like that came out a lot longer ago. But,
yeah, me too.
2009 book, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. And the book, real quick, kind of going back to that so you kind of know where we're coming from with the movie. Obviously based off of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice book, which is in the public domain, so pretty much anyone can kind of take it and make it into a movie or do something silly like this with it. There is a book publishing company called Quirk Books. They take books that are in the public domain and kind of spoof them up a bit. There's like Little Women and Werewolves.
And Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters.
Sea Monsters, yeah. So they do stuff like that, and at the time the guy had found Pride and Prejudice, and he's like, this is one of the greatest novels of all time. So he got this guy, Seth Grahame-Smith, who wrote Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and got him to write that Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. He basically made a list of things that like guys like ninjas, pirates, zombies, and monkeys. And he combined all those and said, hey, write a book that has all these things in it.
Well, that makes sense.
And so Seth Grahame-Smith was like, okay, it's weird, but it just struck me as the most brilliant thing ever. And so that's what he did.
Because it kind of was. I mean, I read the book, And I think of the ones that he wrote, I think Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies were his two best ones.
Yes.
I love Sense and Sensibility, and Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters were not that great.
Well, he didn't write those. Those were by Quirk Books. But
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay. That would explain why it's,
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys can hear, our laundry is going over there, and it is super noisy. I just wanted to let you know what's happening there. Yeah, sorry.
So the book came out and it was immensely popular, mainly because it took the core story of Pride and Prejudice and made it work in a zombie alternate universe, you know, where England and London has been taken over by zombies and these people are having to get by. And it still kind of worked with those themes that were happening in the Pride and Prejudice original story.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever read that, you're gonna get a lot of the jokes that are in the book and in the movie. If you haven't read it, I think some of it's gonna kind of go over your head as far as the themes and what's happening in it and why it's so funny.
But you know, I have to say that in the book, the way that his book was written was actually it was exactly word for word what Jane Austen wrote, and he just inserted zombie stuff in it.
Yes.
So the story is the same, a lot of the conversations are the same, and he just made it work. But in the movie, not so much. There's a lot of like character differences, which I do not appreciate. Okay, it's not that bad. It's just kind of like, it's weird. Okay, keep talking, we'll get to that.
So yeah, as far as like taking it and putting it into the movie form, it relied more on the zombie action aspect of it. So a lot of that was more driven by putting in a lot more action and not being so much word for word Pride and Prejudice with some zombies in it. So like there's another whole subplot involving Willoughby now. Wait, Willoughby, was that right?
Willoughby is Sense and Sensibility.
That's
I'm sorry,
why,
it's
yeah.
Wickham. These
Wickham.
W guys, these W villain guys. What's up with that, Jane Austen?
True.
Let me tell you what I'm gonna do next. Pretty much I'm gonna try to blend all this out. Like, it looks really good on top of each other, but I'm gonna definitely try to blend it out while we're talking. I'm also gonna go in with this shade right here. It's kind of a shimmery purple shade. I have to tell you though, this shade up here is a lot more like earthy tones, and then these are like really pretty pastel colors, which I didn't really expect in this palette. But for spring, this is gonna be great. Anyway, so I'm gonna take this one right here and put it in my under eye, like in my waterline, kind of like just here to give it a little bit of shimmer. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let me think here. I might do this yellow. This yellow is so beautiful. It's like this gold foiled color. It's amazing. So I'm gonna put this on my lid. I'm gonna take this white color right here and just put it right on like my highlight on my under eyes. But I'm also going to use this color, which is a blush, but both of these colors can be used as eyeshadow as well. But I'm gonna use this as a blush to kind of finish off my look. So one more time. Under eye, highlighter, lid, cheek. That's what we're doing.
So yeah, there's like this new subplot going on with Wickham, who in the original story, Elizabeth runs into while she's still angry with Darcy, and becomes even more angry at Darcy because of this character. He kind of makes up some stuff that's going on with Darcy, and that's somewhat the same in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies as well. But he then introduces Elizabeth into this kind of cult of zombies, well, group of zombies that are going to this church that are led by someone that's not, that guy wasn't bitten, was he? The guy that was leading the church?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think it was just a regular...
Yeah, they were like aristocrat zombies that instead of eating human brains, they were eating pig brains, which kept them from attacking humans.
Which, if you think about it, is actually not that bad of a thing.
No, and I thought that was interesting, that there's a group of zombies that could potentially be good. Wickham was originally, his intentions, I think, were good at the beginning, because he was like, look, we can, taking this knowledge, we can learn from them, we can eventually coexist with them.
Yes.
And I thought that was kind of interesting, but then of course things don't work out, and he decides,
he's gonna just take over the world with the zombies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's that whole subplot going on there, which was interesting and different. And
Definitely different than the book, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually thought that the that storyline was interesting,
Yeah.
and I like that they put it in. However, I'm not going to tell you what happened, but it kind of brings about something that I feel like was against the character of another person in the book that made them do something that was against their character inherently, and that's what I didn't like about it.
Yeah, it felt very out of place.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So that's what I didn't really like about it. I wish that they could have, because if you think about it, like, okay, so here's something that happens in the book that doesn't happen in the movie. In the book, the character Charlotte, who is a older friend of the family, you know, she's a spinster, so she ends up marrying this Mr. Collins, who is like a preacher, pastor guy, and she in the book ends up becoming a zombie. And it's funny because like they'll be having this dinner conversation, and then she'll be like off in the corner like gnawing on a piece of meat, and she's never one of those zombies to like go after people. She just basically is there, and it kind of reminded me a lot of these people in the church. That like, they're not going after people, they're just you know, these zombies. But I kind of really wanted to see her be a zombie and just you know, be in the corner.
That probably would have conflicted with that whole part.
It would have, because they, you know, they want to get rid of all the zombies, right?
Yeah.
So the other thing that kind of made me angry about this movie a little bit was that the Lady Catherine de Bourgh, who is Darcy's aunt, she has this renowned zombie killer, and there's a scene in the book where she shows up and she basically almost kicks Elizabeth's butt in a very real way. And in the movie, this did not happen. Catherine brings along this henchman who ends up in this fight scene with Elizabeth, and to me, I feel like that basically meant that Catherine was all talk and no show, because she couldn't like show the fact that she could beat up Elizabeth, and that to me was not a good choice.
Yeah, I thought that was really disappointing for that character, because she was so cool in the book, and I thought it was amazing that you had this like woman with like an eye patch, and she's like badass, and she like has these like samurai skills and all these things, and then that's all you never saw her do anything in that regard through the whole movie. I think there was like a quick thing where they were like kind of telling her backstory.
Yeah.
You just saw her standing like on a mountain of zombies with her like eye gone, and it's like, well, what happened there? Like, I want to see that. Especially with a movie that's focusing on so much action. Where was that? That would have been awesome.
Exactly. I think overall this movie though, like, to me, I liked it. I thought it was interesting, but there was so much of it that was like almost ludicrous to me. Like, what am I watching? Like, one of our friends who is a diehard Jane Austen fan was watching it, and she texts us, I don't even know what to think. Like, what did I just watch? What the heck was going on? And she read the book too, so you know, she knew what was coming. You know, but
overall, I liked it a lot. I still had fun with it, enjoyed it, even though it did have differences and stuff. I liked that the audience was very interesting, and that it was a group of people that seemed like some knew what this was going in.
Yeah.
Some thought this was going to be like a straight up zombie movie just in like olden times. And I feel like everyone in it kind of walked away like that was a bit different than what I thought this was going to be.
True.
Which I thought was fun. And I mean, the action was all done really well, I thought. The zombie designs were pretty cool, and the makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it had good, like, there's a couple like jump scares or things like sudden that I thought were fun and put in very well.
Next up, I'm going to use this liner. This is Mr. Write Now from TheBalm, and I believe what it is, I don't know what the shade is, Jack, J-A-C, Jack. It's like this, I used this in another video and I can't remember, but I'm trying to use it up and I thought it would go well with this look. So this is going to go in the waterline. And then for my eye look, I'm still using the e.l.f. Chunky Fat Thick Liquid Liner. And then the Revlon All-in-One Ultimate Mascara. As you guys know, I kind of don't really change up a lot my mascara and eyeliner look a lot, because I like to not be wasteful, and I don't like to have a lot of mascaras and stuff open at any time, because then they go bad fast and then I have to throw them away. So I want to use these up. Jesse's Girl is coming back though Yes.
Yay.
Oh, I'm not using false lashes. That's what I was going to tell you.
Oh.
For this look, I decided to just go very natural with the eyelashes and not do false lashes. So, yay.
With this movie, it was, I think, if you're looking for a zombie movie to see, I think you'll walk away pretty satisfied. If you are looking for the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies book being made into a movie, I think you'll still walk away satisfied as well, because it still was fun, and it wasn't exactly like the book. But for me, I think it still kept with a lot of the themes of the whole original Pride and Prejudice story, and made it work for the most part with a zombie situation happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked a lot of that.
But can we talk about the acting?
I like Lily James a lot. I think she's gorgeous, and she was really good in this. I loved her.
Yeah, she was.
She was in Cinderella, if you're not sure who she is.
We have a makeup and a movie on Cinderella, so I will post
check
that down below.
She's great in Cinderella. I really want to see more of her, because she was just really good in this type of role too.
Yeah, and
I think it would be cool to see her in a regular Pride and Prejudice as Elizabeth.
Well,
Bennet.
you didn't watch Downton Abbey?
No.
And
I know
she's from that, and she's really great. Like, at first I didn't think I was gonna like her, because she's one of those characters that's kind of promiscuous, rebellious teenager almost, and she kind of turns it around in Downton Abbey. So yeah, I feel like
that's interesting.
I really liked her character from that, honestly. And then into Cinderella, like, I just fell in love with her. I thought she's really great.
Yes. We had Lena. I can't even know if that's really like how you pronounce it. Is it Lena or Lena?
I think it's
Headey?
Lena.
She was Lady Charlotte, which I was excited for when they said that's who she was going to be, because I mean she's kind of like always like these badass characters in her movies,
right?
And she's on Game of Thrones, so I was like, that's perfect.
Lena Headey, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then we had Matt Smith as...
He was amazing. Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins.
Okay, here's the thing. I usually hate Mr. Collins. He's sneaky and like creepy, and it makes your skin crawl. He was just funny. Like, he was kind of a creepster in a way, but not to the point where you were like, oh dear God.
He made it hilarious. Matt Smith just made it into like this
awesome,
ridiculous character that, yes, it was creepy and stuff, but it was so funny.
That is true.
He was great.
Yep.
It was interesting too, because him and Lily James were dating at the time this movie was
I
made.
do not believe they're dating anymore, because I saw a picture of them, the cast, on Instagram, and they're like standing as far apart from each other as they can, and it's like this weird awkward thing going on. I'm like, I wonder if they're not dating anymore.
Well, they're not if they're doing that.
Also, I thought the person who was really great was the one who played Bingley.
Yeah.
Bingley, he was great.
Yeah, he looked familiar. Who? Douglas Booth?
Yeah. Because Bingley is like this really positive guy, and, you know, doesn't really see bad in a lot of people, and you know, this guy comes in and he's just like, hi everybody, what's going on?
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
Yeah, he was in the newer version of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh,
with
wow.
Haley, she was in...
Oh yeah, Haley Steinfeld.
Yes, Steinfeld. I was saying Haley Atwell, that is not Haley Atwell. So that was the good people. The dad was good too, for his much reduced part as compared to the original Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, I was kind of annoyed by the mom. If you guys watch Bridget Jones, she is Shazzer in Bridget Jones. And all the entire time I was watching the movie, I just kept thinking, it's Shazzer. Shazzer, it's not the mom, it's Shazzer, and I don't know why. I'm gonna put on lipstick last, since we're talking about that stuff. This is another BH Cosmetics product. This is called the ColorLock lipstick, and this is in the shade Faithful, and it is a matte color, which I super love, and it's got kind of like this weird clicky twist top thing happening. But I'm gonna put that on so you can see what that looks like while we finish up. Do we have fun facts?
Did want to say we had one part that we did not like very well, and that was the guy that played Mr. Darcy.
Oh.
Sam Riley. He was an interesting choice. He had like this grovelly voice. Oh, he was in Maleficent. He was the guy that was with Maleficent.
I never saw
The
Maleficent.
Raven. What? He was like her partner, the Raven, in human form. In that.
Oh, okay.
But you'll see it eventually. So, anyways, yeah, he has like this grovelly voice in it, and it's very off-putting and weird, I think, as a character choice for it. I kind of understand where he was going. He's like this seasoned like zombie hunter guy.
But he had no chemistry with Elizabeth at all.
No.
It was, I could not, see, most Darcys, while they're brooding, you can kind of sit there and be like, yes, I can see that there is this like longing for her and this internal struggle that he loves her but he can't be with her, but he wants to be with her, but she's not in the same social class, and he hates her family but he loves her, and you know, you can kind of like internally see that struggle. With him, there was not that struggle.
It seemed like he hated her the entire time.
The whole
like
time.
the entire time. There's no like, oh, okay, I'm starting to like nose. Just like, I don't like this woman.
Yeah. You know, and it may seem like with what we're saying that we totally didn't like this movie. I liked this movie.
Fun.
It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
There was just issues
Yeah.
with the movie.
Yeah. Originally, Natalie Portman was cast as Elizabeth Bennet, but she dropped out. Then there was Scarlett Johansson, Anne Hathaway, Emma Stone, Mia Wasikowska, Rooney Mara, Mila Kunis, and Blake Lively. They ended up having to settle with Lily James.
Thank God they did.
Yeah, I don't think
She was awesome.
Natalie Portman did stay on board as a producer though in the movie, which is kind of cool. So David O. Russell was going to originally be the director of the movie. David O. Russell you probably know from Silver Linings Playbook, Joy, American Hustle. I mean, this guy's done some like really good stuff, which is kind of surprising they would get him to do this movie.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up getting Burr Steers. Yeah, Burr Steers. He's done movies like 17 Again. He directed that. Charlie St. Cloud. And he did one episode of The New Normal. He did an episode of Weeds. He's done those.
Awesome.
Not saying any of those are bad, just that's what he's done. Alright, so this is kind of a funny story that happened on the set. Lily James said that there was a scene where she had to walk through a field with like zombie heads all over the place and things like that. And they said, okay, you're gonna get to this point and stomp on one of them. And so she did that, but then when she did it, everyone like screamed out in horror because she stepped on an extra's head. She stopped in the wrong spot. Just a funny little on the set story.
Wow. So anyway, this is my look from Pride and Prejudice and Zombies using the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies palette, which I actually, I don't know, I used to not like BH Cosmetics eyeshadows as much. I didn't think they were very pigmented or they didn't blend very well, but they must have done something to their formula because these are really great. I really like it. Yeah. And if you guys are interested in more Makeup in a Movie, I will leave the playlist up above and down below for you, so you can check that out as well. And for this week, we are, you know, we usually post these on Mondays, but this week we will have a very special Best Picture Showcase video going up this week as well for the first weekend. So make sure you check that out also. Yes.
Excited. Oscars are coming.
Until next time, keep calm.
Stay zany.
Bye-bye.